Good morning, good afternoon. My name is Nic Clark, and today I'll be taking you through the Action Coach Toolbox tour. I'm the Chief Product Officer with Action Coach globally, and I joined Action Coach in October of 1997 as the Business Development Manager to expand the Asia Pacific region. I've also had other roles. One of those was in charge of global training, the other one head of IT, and I've also had other various roles throughout the company over time. In a past life, I have been the partner of a city-based accounting firm, heading up the small business section of that accounting firm. And I've also had other various companies throughout that time in the coaching and consulting field. Companies that have ranged in 2.7 million in revenue through to 6.5 million in revenue, and also in there's an international franchise. I want to break the tools and services down into major areas to give you an understanding of the different kind of segments that you have access to when you join Action Coach. The first one is the coaching systems. These are all the systems you use to coach a client to gain massive results in their business. And you'll see on screen here that we have an overview of what are the coaching systems, how do you start a new client, for example, the 5-way chassis to build massive profits for a business, which we'll get into more depth later, and also 6 steps to mastery, leverage, synergy, and all the way through niche, team, and massive results for the client. We then have seminars, workshops, and group coaching. Generally speaking, seminars are free things we do for the marketplace to be able to gain leads and prospects into the coaching business. In seminars, you'll see on screen here, we have the 5-way seminar as an example. The 5-way seminar is teaching the marketplace on developing the 5 core areas that lead to massive profits. And over here, you'll see there's a 6-step seminar. And a 6-step seminar is one of the major tools we use to gain prospective clients into the business. And then we have a whole range of different workshops. For example, here you'll see Business Rich on screen. And Business Rich is a fantastic workshop you use to develop your clients' businesses and to get, again, massive results. And there are a whole range of other seminars and workshops on screen as well. The core thing to understand here is that everything that I'm showing you is fully developed, which means that if it's a workshop, it has the PowerPoint presentation, it has the notes for you as the facilitator of that presentation, it has the emails that go out to your prospective clients, and the other systems around it to support you in being able to conduct that seminar or workshop. You'll see the third block on the screen. The third block is coaching resources and tools. You'll see here we've got the 4-ways chassis. That's another chassis that we use to create the solid foundation for a business so we can scale that business over time. You also have, as an example, a disc profiling system. Disc profiling systems enable you to not only generate income from it, but also be able to profile your clients and give them an understanding of what drives them, what influences them, and how they can use some of that information to be able to better interact with other people. We can also disc profile husband and wife teams as a team, executive teams as a team, and wider groups to give the business owner more clarity on how to effectively interact with those segments of the business. I want to take you now through the different income umbrellas. The first one we have on screen is the coaching services that you'll use to generate income, but also to get massive results for your clients and grow their business and afford them a lifestyle that is somewhat magical. You'll see on screen that we've got one-to-one coaching. So the basics of one-to-one coaching is where a coach coaches a business owner one-on-one. In that meaning, the coach has a set script that takes them through the different blocks of time that they need to follow in order to get effective coaching and get effective results for that client. Generally speaking, one-to-one coaching, it's 1 hour per week. It's normally at the same time for that particular client. So if Mary, for example, Mary who owns a coffee shop is being coached, she might get coached at 11 o'clock on a Tuesday, for example, and normally speaking that would be 11 o'clock each Tuesday each week. So one-to-one coaching is 1 hour per week, weekly of course, and 4 times a week. If there's a 5-week period in a month, the client gets to do homework and other activities during that period of time. The coach, if the coach is only doing coaching, they're not doing any other activities for your firm, the coach speaking can generally coach somewhere between 15 and 25 clients, not taking into account any other leverage scenarios, for example, administrative team members, personal assistants, and other things that support the coach in being more effective in coaching. The next block you'll see on screen is group coaching. Now, group coaching is where the coach will coach 3 to 4 business owners within that 1 hour block of time. And how that looks is it's 1 hour per week, 3 to 4 business owners in that session. It's done weekly for 4 times a week. Now, the group coaching is great when you first start because it enables you to sell potentially at a lower than coaching rates, but it also yields you the same effective per hourly yield if you're looking at breaking it down in that mechanism. It's also a great program for those people or those businesses who can't yet afford or can't yet cash flow one-to-one coaching, but still want to get coaching, so they can do the group coaching. Now, the alignment on screen, the alignment generally speaking is a half day. We can do a full day when it comes to developing or aligning a team together, but most of the times it's generally done as a half day scenario. And if you can imagine, alignment is a little bit creative. It's where you're brainstorming with the client, what's worked in their business in the past, what have been some blocks or barriers to the business growing, where does the business want to go in the future, where do they want themselves to be personally in the future, and realistically what we're doing in that half-day session is we're aligning the business owner with the business, so the business owner's goals and personal aspirations with developing the business to provide that, but also aligning what we're going to be doing with that client over the course of time as well. So aligning the business goals to that of the personal goals and also aligning us to understand what that looks like so we can become extremely effective at coaching towards that outcome. Now on the right hand side you'll see here we've got the Growth Club, or what we call quarterly or 90-day planning. Now this is the glue of the coaching system. So what happens in the Growth Club is that there's a chance to do some networking for the clients. It gives them the ability to learn new ways of developing their business. But realistically, the main focus of the Quarterly Growth Club is to construct a 90-day plan. Look at the previous 90 days and how have they gone in those 90 days and how have they gone developing their monthly and weekly scenarios to improve their business. Also then developing up the next 90 days of their plan as to how they move forward towards the annual goals that were in their alignment. Now, Growth Club is open to all of the one-to-one coaching clients. It's open to the group coaching clients. And the expectation, of course, is that all of those clients will attend that one-day workshop each 90 days. The other thing you can do with Growth Club is you can also use Growth Club to gain prospective clients into Growth Club. So they may not be one-to-one coaching clients, they may not be group coaching clients yet, but you still want to get them involved because you can grow their business, they can develop a 90-day plan, and you can sit them with other clients which will entice that non-one-to-one coaching client or group coaching client to become one of those styles of clients. So that's coaching in an umbrella overview of what it is. The next major down is what we call membership. Now, membership is quite involved as a program, so I won't get into the full nuts and bolts of membership on this Toolbox tour, but what I will do is I'll take you through the major components of what membership is. Realistically speaking, and it does vary a little bit from what I'm saying, but realistically speaking, membership is where you have 6 what we call masterminds coming together as a group. So that's 6 business owners that join a mastermind group, and that mastermind group will stay together over time. Now, if you're building out membership as a core product and services of your coaching firm, what that looks like is that you could have 10 groups of 6, which equals 60 members. You could also have 2 groups of 6, which would be 12 members, or 3 groups of 6, which would be 18. But the core is realistically that you have mastermind groups that are coming together to develop your business. Now, I'll take you through how that realistically looks. The far left-hand side of this is the 12-week action club, which I'll get into after I go through the other components. The Mastermind Weekly is where each mastermind group meets as a group. So if you've got 3 groups, total of 18, if you've got 3 groups meeting, they're meeting in separate locations because they're parts of their own separate group. So they meet weekly to go over what are the core points that have happened in their business over the week, what wins have they done, what are they celebrating, and what are they going to focus on over the course of the next week. And they've got facilitated guides of how they do that, they've got how they interact together, and there's also somebody from your team that supports them in developing up that move forward in their business. The next one you'll see here is Membership Monday. So that's where all of the groups come together on a Monday at a designated time for a 1-hour Zoom call. And in that 1-hour Zoom call, what you're effectively doing is you're taking the whole of that group through what we call 30X. Now, 30X is a phenomenal program, and it's broken up into 3 major areas. We have 30X Business, which is realistically 30 times the results of your business. We also have 30X Wealth, which is the 30X the results for personal wealth. And then 30X Personal Development, which is your clients developing themselves to be a stronger, more effective person to be able to lead their business to greater growth. Now, as an example of the 30X program, they do it each week. So when you look at 30X, there are 30 sessions in that 30X, which means there's 30 weeks worth of 30X business. What you're doing in that 30X Membership Monday is you're taking the group through their process of learning that session of 30X for that week, what they have achieved as a result of doing the last 30X session, and how they've made that work within their business, their life, and as a whole group. You're getting extremely excited about the gains that you've made within 30X. It also gives the group the ability to ask questions, be with the other members, and support each other to grow their business. So to recap on that, Membership Monday is all of the groups coming together. It's for 1 hour or thereabouts, and what you're doing is you're moving the whole group through what we call 30X. And that's to give them the ability to, outside of the normal interaction we have, grow things on their own. The monthly workshop, that's where everybody comes together once a month for 1 day to work on their business. And that's broken up into networking in the morning, so they all get to network together, they get to meet each other again, they get to formulate relationships and realistically build a community. That membership monthly also includes learning sessions from international speakers and international authors that ActionCOACH, our office, has developed for you. And there's also the planning of what happened during the course of the last month in their business. How did they go with their KPIs? How did they develop their business over that month? What goals did they have? What wins did they have over the course of the month? And then develop the next month in line with their quarterly plan and, of course, in line with their annual goals that came out of the alignment process with them. To the far right-hand side, we have the Quarterly Growth Club. The Quarterly Growth Clubs, they all join together. All Quarterly Growth Clubs are all done with one-to-one coaching clients, group coaching clients, membership mastermind clients, and of course those guests that you invite in. And again, it's the glue, because what we're working on in the Quarterly Growth Club is to be able to develop our quarterly plans and make sure we've got some really solid goals to go after within the quarter. So let me go over that quickly again. Mastermind Weekly is where each mastermind group gets together as a group, singular groups. Membership Monday is where all the group comes together for 1 hour to further develop their business through 30X. The monthly workshop is to network, learn additional business methodologies, and to also develop their monthly plan and to review their monthly plan. And then the Quarterly Growth Club is to review their past quarter and further develop the next quarter. And there's a whole range of other things that happen in there as well. To the far left-hand side, you'll see 12-Week Action Club. 12-Week Action Club is the precursor for membership. That's 12 weeks of self-paced learning with Brad on a video online in our Learning Hub, as well as a 1 hour live session as a group to go through how they've developed that part of their business. So realistically, 12-Week Action Club gives that business owner the ability to build their business over the 12-week period. It gives them an ability to become a great client because they're doing things like homework, they're working on their business. So they're showing us that they can develop their business and they can maintain a consistent effort in being able to show up, do things, and actually learn. So once they get through the 12-week Action Club, they're then invited into the mastermind group. The other umbrella, so to speak, is pretty much everything else. This is not a linear left to right scenario here, but it's realistically everything else we have. So we have other 12-week programs. We have 12-week management. That's taking people through a process over 12 weeks to become a better manager. And that's targeted generally at business owners, managers, supervisors. We also have 12-week sales, and 12-week sales is targeted at salespeople, business owners to become more effective at sales, and managers to become more effective at sales. And that's, again, 12-week program, 1 hour live session per week, and also some self-paced learning on the side. We then have other workshops. I showed you some of those in one of the beginning slides of all the workshops and seminars that we have. And then we have client training, Disc Vac Y, and a whole range of other products, more than 20 or so other products to support you in being able to work with your community and grow your coaching business. So I want to take you on to now just some fairly light information about some of the tools that we use. We are a Microsoft 365 app company, and what that means is we use things like SharePoint, we use things like Planner, we have Teams, OneNote, and of course the staples, which are Microsoft Word, Excel, and PowerPoint. When you join Action Coach, you get access to all of these tools, which means that you can use Outlook as your email. You can also then, of course, with all of the systems that we develop, you can use our PowerPoint templates, our Word documents for contracts and information that you give to your clients, as well as Excel as part of some of the other systems and tools we use with our clients as well. So I just wanted to show you that we are a 365 app company. That, of course, doesn't matter whether you're PC-based or you're Apple-based, they all use the same product scenario. I'm going to dive a little bit into what I call the hub, and I won't be taking you through the whole of the hub because I believe you've probably looked at that or will look at that in another area of these videos. So the hub realistically is a SharePoint site, but it's much more. It's a SharePoint site that connects all of our SharePoint sites across the world. And the hub realistically gives us the ability to house the intellectual property that you'll be using. It's a place where we come together to be able to communicate with each other as coaches, master licensees, and the community at large. And it's a place where we can then get notifications of Brad's Big Success podcasts, town hall meetings, and a whole range of other things as well. The core thing I wanted to show you here today was how we use the hub to do a search like Google. So what that means is that all of the SharePoint sites that we have around the world where we develop major products and services and intellectual property for you, you have access to all of it globally. So you'll see on screen here that I've done a sales process search. So like Google, I've typed in the word sales process, and that comes up with a list page by page, because the page actually goes beyond the fold. It's a list of everything that relates or could relate to what I've searched for, and in this case it's the sales process. In the example here, you'll see that I'm going to click on coaching system. What is the 13-step sales process? So let me find out more about that as an example. So when I click on that, it takes me through to the 13-step sales process SharePoint site, a whole site that gives me information on the 13 steps. When I click on step 1 of the 13 steps, when I click on that, it brings up what is in step 1. Now here, step 1 is about developing your target market. Now your target market is important because your target market may be a vertical market. You may want to, as a coach or firm, target tradespeople being lawn care, plumbers, plumbing businesses, landscaping businesses, other trades type businesses. So you may want to do a vertical market of looking after those in your community. You may, however, want a broader based target market to develop, where your target market may be businesses between 400,000 in revenue and up to 10 or 20 million in revenue. So you may develop your target market differently. But step 1 is effectively, how do you go about developing your target market? And within this screen here, there are links. Now, we have a blue screen, so you can't always see the blue links, but there are other links here that you can click on, which will take you deeper into the process of developing your target market for your firm or coaching business. So going back into the dashboard again, you'll see here that in the same sales process search that we did, it also comes up with UK dashboard, the UK sales process. So when I was talking before about it searches our infrastructure globally, this is where we've found the UK dashboard. And when we click on that, this is about learning the sales process. So when we click on that, we've got all the videos and the audio files on how do you actually conduct, or how do you take a prospective client all the way through the 13-step sales process, all the way through to becoming a client and being wowed onto the system. You'll see here that we've got follow-up calls, 12-minute audio file. You'll also see here that we've got a sales training disc video number 1 hour 26 minutes. So that's the video. So this is everything you need to know to be able to learn the sales process. As well as that, this gives you the ability to have other salespeople trained in the system to be able to effectively be able to run a follow-up call, or follow up an information pack that's been sent out, or do what we call a coach on deck call, is where the coach contacts a prospective client prior to a meeting with that client. So everything is in here with regards to how you follow the 13-step sales process. And I wanted to show you this because it gives you an understanding of how deep our system goes and how you can use that system to further develop your coaching business. Now, I won't go through videos or audio files here, but rest assured, these files, audio and video, are from our internal people, which means that real salespeople are on calls with prospective clients that you get to listen into. There are real sales trainings from our coaches and people who have developed firms successfully in the past, so you get access to all of that. Now I want to take you through what we call the core propositions, the core things that realistically make us different in the marketplace. And these core propositions are what give us the ability to build a business to gain massive results for the client, develop a personal lifestyle for them, and have that business being solidified and scalable. So you'll see here that the first one is 6 steps to massive results. Now I want to take focus on the fact that it's not 6 steps to results, but actually is 6 steps to massive results. And the reason why I say massive results is because that in fact is what we do and how we develop our clients' business, massive results. Now keep in mind, massive results is different for different business owners and different businesses. So if you're a business that's generating 100,000 as an example per annum, massive results could be 200,000 in the same year. When you're developing a business that could be revenue generating 3 million, massive results for you may be an extra 1 million per annum. Now your clients will have different massive results, but realistically we are moving towards that for them. Now we have 6 steps to massive results, and you'll see here on screen that's results, synergy, team, leverage, niche and mastery. We generally speaking, however, work from the bottom up. So we've got mastery is the first step. And mastery really is about destination mastery, money mastery, time and delivery mastery. And I'll take you through that more in depth as we go through the coaching tools. Next one up is niche, how to develop the 5 ways to massive profits, putting guarantees into your business, having a unique selling proposition and itemizing and following a sales process within the business. So this realistically develops us up the ladder to where we can gain synergy, which is scalability for the business, and also then massive results. The next 2 chassis, you'll see here we've got 5 ways, the 5 ways chassis, and the 5 ways is realistically about developing massive profits for the business. So you'll see here 5 ways. So what are the 5 ways? So when I work with clients, sometimes they say to me, Nick, we want more customers. And when I look at more customers is realistically about 2 activities out of the 5 ways. And that's leads by conversion actually equals more customers. So in this one here, we then work with the client to look at and develop their lead systems and lead flow, so coaching them towards how they build their leads, and then also coaching them to understand what is their conversion rate and coach them towards how they improve their conversion rate. So realistically, the 5 ways are leads by conversion, that's 2. Then we've got the number of times a customer transacts with the business over an annual period, that's 3. How much do they spend with that business when they do transact, that's 4. And then the 5th one is what are the margins for the business. So when we're coaching them, realistically, we're coaching them on to firstly know their figures. How many leads does the business generate? What is the conversion rate? How many times does a customer transact on average across the customer pool? What is the average value on average across the customers, and what is their margin? And by knowing those numbers, we can then increase them. And we call this divide to multiply. So we've divided profit up into core 5 activities that we work with the clients on. And your coach has become very adept at doing this process. The next one is what I call the 4 ways, the 4-way chassis, which is the foundational structure of the business, but also supports the 5 ways. So we have people and education, the client's people, their team, the people they're involved with, suppliers and so forth, and how do you educate them so they can more effectively develop the business. testing and measuring. We talked about measuring with regards to knowing your numbers with regards to leads, conversion rate, and the others in the 5 ways, delivery and distribution, and systems and technology. So these are the core propositions we use to build massive results in a client's business, as well as massive results in their personal lifestyle. These core propositions throughout pretty much all of the systems and items that we use in ActionCOACH. At some point in any workshop or any external thing you're doing with your client, there'll be some of this in each one of those as their core propositions. So looking at the screen here, when I go into the coaching system overview, so looking at all of the coaching systems now, when I click on that, that takes us to our coaching system grid. Now, everything on this grid is clickable, which means anything I click will take me into a SharePoint site with that system in there and that information in there. So you'll see here, this grid, our coaching grid, works from left to right and top to bottom. So the left-hand side, we've got marketing and sales. So the first step in any coaching business is to develop your ActionCOACH business to develop marketing and sales. So the marketing and sales side of things is there's a 13-step sales process. The first one of those is building your database so you've got actual business owners to market to, or if you're marketing with regards to the 12-week sales program, people on the database that are sales supervisors, sales managers, business owners that are salespeople as well. However, we're looking at building the database, then we market to that database, and you'll see here we're going through a process: build your database, market to your database, a prospect contacts or clicks on something or downloads something, so you're getting notification of a prospect now inbound. We also have prospect follow-up sequences to follow up mail that you may have sent out, emails that you may have sent out, or communications out to follow that prospect up. And then we have things like sending information packs and all the way through to where we have a client. Now on screen here, every one of these left-hand side items are clickable and they take you through to a full system. So as an example of that, when we're looking at we've been through the 13-step sales cycle, somebody has become a client, how do we actually start them as a new client as an example? Well, if I was to click on that, how does somebody become a client as an example? Well, if I was to click on start a new client, that would then take me into the SharePoint site around starting a new client. And you'll see here there are things like agreements, the first steps, what is the welcome pack that I send out to clients, what's in the welcome pack. So all the systems are ready-made for you. When I click on the agreement side, for example, that takes me through to there's PDF agreements, there's Word agreements, and there are different styles of agreements that you can use in your coaching business to be able to gain that new client. So when I click on the agreement, you'll see here that the agreement is broken up into the first page, standard first page agreement. It also then goes into what are the different coaching programs. So you'll see the coaching programs listed here on the left-hand side and what are in each one of those coaching programs. You'll see on the right-hand page that we've got what is effectively in each of those coaching programs with what does the client gain out of that. And then we've got the program investment for the alignment and also the different coaching programs. Then we go into general conditions and the standard things that you would generally see in an agreement. The core thing here is to understand that the whole of the system is developed for you, which means that you don't have to do it. Now you might make slight modifications with regards to in part of the agreement, including your company name, for example. However, it's all pre-branded as your ActionCOACH business and ready to go right now. Going back to the coaching system grid as an example, or before I get onto that, I want to just go back a quick step. You'll see here that we talked about those core propositions before. You'll see here that we have the 6 steps to building a better business. We have the 5 ways chassis, and we also have the 4 ways chassis. So you'll see here that we've got mastery, niche, leverage, team, synergy, and results. So all of the systems are following the core propositions. You'll see here that if I click on the 5 ways as an example, that will now take me into what are the 5 ways. Now these are the 5 ways strategies, and you'll have to understand that it goes below the fold. So there are a lot more strategies below the fold than what is actually on screen. And this is an example out of what we call the COM. And this is an example of some of the strategies that we have selected for a particular client. This is click on, click off. So if I was to click onto public relations as an example, that strategy would click on and it would go into the client's portfolio of what we're going to coach them on over the course of time. 5 ways, you've got leads by conversion equals customers, and then you've got customers by number of transactions by average value of sale equals the revenue, and then of course revenue by profit margin equals their profit. So this is the 5 ways. We then click through and we've got the 4 ways underpinning chassis as well. So this is the 4 ways to really not only stabilize the business, but get it into a point where it's systemized so we can scale that business up over time. And again, it's broken into the core areas of the 4 ways: people and education, delivery and distribution, testing and measuring, and of course, systems and technology. So I wanted to show you that as part of the click-through scenario of some of the items that are on the coaching tools. I also want to now take you into what we call the Video Hub. Now, the Video Hub is a system that enables us to be able to get access to marketing material and other material that may be important to us in growing our coaching business. So you'll see here that I've clicked on the Video Hub in our dashboard. When I click on the Video Hub, that takes me through to the marketing videos as well as conferences and a whole host of other things we can get involved in our coaching business to understand our business, grow our business, connect with what other coaches have said, connect with what other firm owners have been teaching as well. So when I click on the marketing videos as an example, it brings up a list of marketing videos we can use in our marketing efforts to gain prospects or to let the marketplace know we exist and what do we actually do. When I click on that video as an example, it brings up, that was a doodle video, so it brings up the doodle video. And all of these videos you can watch. This is a 3.5-minute doodle video, and this is on the 6 steps. So this is explaining the 6 steps to the marketplace so they can get enthusiastic and desire to be in contact. And this is downloadable for you to use in various marketing activities. You've seen that there are a whole host of different tools. I want to take you through now in some of the depth of some of our SharePoint product sites. And this will give you an understanding of the depth of intellectual property that fall behind some of the information that you're seeing. So the program membership, that was that second umbrella that I mentioned originally. We had the coaching, one-to-one coaching and so forth, and then we had the membership that I went through with you. Now this is taking you into the membership SharePoint site, and I'll click on that and take you through. So on the dashboard, everything lives on the dashboard, which is what we call the hub. So on the hub, when I click through to that, that then takes me into the membership program site that you gain access as an Action Coach franchise partner. You'll see here membership. So we've got Brad Sugars on membership. We've got how do you get certified. So membership is an additional certification program. We have interviews and highlights from all of the international speakers that we've gone out into the marketplace. We've found top level international speakers. We've recorded them for 30 minutes. Those sessions are used within your membership, and they're really on hot topics to be able to grow your client's business. You'll see here that we have quick links over the right hand side, materials, training, certification, and some of the other things we have on the main buttons. There's also a further dashboard down below the screen fold. So when I click on the membership material, it takes me through to what is the membership material. We've got the manuals, the marketing material, how do you sell the program, what are the specific items that the client needs, how do you administer a client, the peer-to-peer coaching, KPI recording, monthly meetings, group coaching day, and a whole host of other things. When I click on the marketing as an example, that takes me through to icons, stock photos, and other things you have access to, social media posts, the how do you conduct a 6 steps event to attract people into membership, website, examples, brochures, and a whole range of other things in the marketing side of things. When I click on the 6 steps event, and then now that I'm in the 6 steps event, you'll see that there's manuals on how to do the 6 steps event, how do you market, so further marketing information on how do you market a 6 steps event, and then the tickets and process charts. But I want to take you into the process chart now to not necessarily overwhelm you, but to show you how in-depth our systems can be. So when I click on this, this is a 26-step process charts of how you put on a effective 6 steps event. Now some of these are fairly minor steps and some of these are fairly involved steps. There's also a 98-page manual that follows exactly each one of these steps with an icon that exactly relates to each one of these steps. So it takes you through step 1. How do you start it? Well, first of all, you need to book a date for your 6 steps event. And even though it sounds relatively simple, how do you book a date? But there are things on there like don't do events on Fridays. Don't generally do them on Mondays, as an example. The best days for the events, the best timing for the event. So how do you book an event? So book the event, then what are the processes to book a venue? And this is important because when you grow your Action Coach business and team come involved, they already have the manuals and systems that they need to be able to put on an effective event without having to create anything because it's already done for you. So this is the last slide in the presentation, and part of my desire today is that you can see that there is a depth of tools here, and certainly there's more than enough to be able to grow the revenue of your Action Coach business. There are full-blown systems where you have access to the PowerPoints, the scripting, the documents needed, the Excel sheet, so everything is in one bundle. So I hope you enjoyed today. Thank you for your time, and I look forward to seeing you at some point in the future. Bye for now.